Hello my friends, thanks for stopping by. Hope you're all having a great day. Today I'm going to show you how to make topping. You know when you're out in the grocery store and you buy your Fage yogurt or your other fruit blended yogurts, most of the calories in those come from the fruit because it's mixed in with a lot of sugar and artificial ingredients. So I don't ever buy yogurts that have the fruit on the bottom or the Fage that have the fruit that you flip over. I'm sure they're great tasting and everything, but you can make them at home, which is more cost effective, healthier for you, and your kids will love them just as much as they love those fruit artificial flavor yogurts. So that's what we're going to do. You're going to need some Fage yogurt. I like the 2%. I have a hard time finding the 2% in my area. So if you may be like me, you may have to buy the 0%. The 0 is a little more tart. I prefer the consistency and the flavor of the 2%, and it is considered low fat, and that's what we really need to concentrate on, is just low fat dairy products. So I'm going to use about 3/4 of a cup of this, which I will add to my glass later because I'm going to make it fancy for the video. Sometimes I don't always do fancy, but for today I will. So you will need a blender, or if you have a very small food processor, you can use this also. I'm going to use my blender just because I like it a little chunkier. So into my blender, I have some organic strawberries here. This is about 7 or 8. If you have really small strawberries, you may want to add about 10. But it's fresh strawberries. I've washed, cleaned, and just sliced them in half. I picked the largest ones, so I only had to do 7 or 8. Strawberries are a fruit that I buy only organic. Now you can use frozen if you don't want to pay the price for the fresh, because this container was $7 for me to buy. But I go through them and they are tasting pretty good right now. So if you want, just use your frozen, but you're going to have to take them out of the freezer, the freezer overnight, because I don't like this ice cold, and you don't want slushy over your yogurt. You definitely want a syrupy, it's going to be like an ice cream sundae, okay? All right, so into your blender or your food processor, you're going to put your clean strawberries in there. Okay, so now I want to add a little bit of healthy fat to this. So today I'm going to use macadamia nuts. I had to think about what these are. Now you don't want to put the salted macadamia. These are raw, salt-free macadamia nuts, and I have about 5 of them. I'm just going to toss those in. And then this is the magic that makes it all worth it. Now you can find this in your grocery store for $10 a bottle, or you can go to TJ Maxx Home Goods and buy it for $5.99. I have about 8 bottles. It lasts until 2017. They always have an expiration date on them, so look that up. But I like the paste or fresh vanilla beans. But I know fresh vanilla beans are hard for a lot of people to get a hold of because they're expensive. So the pure vanilla bean paste is excellent. So pick yourself up a bottle of that. You're going to put about 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon. I like a lot of vanilla flavor, so I'm going to put 1/2 teaspoon into my blender. Drizzle it around, get it in there. I don't like to leave anything behind. I like to put it all in there. Okay, so then I kind of just wipe it on a strawberry to make sure that I'm getting all of it off of there. Okay, so we have our vanilla. Now I'm going to put, this is my choice of stevia. It can only be purchased at Whole Foods because it is their store brand. It is the 365 blend, and it is the vanilla stevia extract. I love the flavor of this. I also have this one, New Naturals, which you can find in most of your grocery store. This has a thinner consistency. It is flavored vanilla stevia. I don't like the taste of this one. It's a little bitter for me, but that's just my taste buds. It may not be for you. So you can go ahead and use that one. Now this one, you'll be able to see this consistency is like a syrup. I really like this one a lot. So I'm going to put about 3 or 4. I've been putting 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4 drops of the stevia. And that would be it if you want. Now I am going to add a little bit of my cocoa bean extract. This is like putting a piece of dark chocolate in your mouth. You get all the same benefits from this without the calories. So I'm just going to put a squirt of that in there. You do not need to put that one in there, okay? So now I have all of my ingredients in there, and I'm going to pulse it. Okay, so now with my blender, because it's not really full, I'm going to have to take a long tool. This is my little long cake froster. And I'm just going to push the strawberries back into the blades with the nuts too. Okay. And I'm going to do this a couple times until it's the consistency that I like. Okay, so I'm done making my strawberry yumminess that I'm going to put over the top of my yogurt, okay? Now, if you're using a food processor, you want to make sure that you use the chop or the pulse. You don't want to just grind it up and make it a soup. If you like it really thin, you can, but I like to have a little bit of the strawberries on the chunky side. Now you probably say, well, why don't you just slice them and throw them on your yogurt? The juice that is made in this is the secret. That is what's beautiful. It's all vanilla, strawberry with just the macadamia nut for crunch and the stevia just adding enough sweetness to it. It's fabulous. So I'm going to take a glass, make your food pretty or not, doesn't matter, but I'm going to take a glass and I'm just going to spoon some of this out into the glass. Can you see my glass? No. Okay. Let me lower my camera. So I'm going to spoon a little bit of that into the glass. So I have some fruit on the bottom, just like this says on the container. Okay. Then I am going to take another spoon and I'm going to put about 3/4 of a cup of the yogurt inside. Make a little mess, make a mess, not make a mess, whatever. Okay, so that's about a 1/2 cup. But I'm going to stop there because it's going to overflow if I don't. I usually just put it in a bowl and pour the syrup on the top of it. But I had to make it pretty for the video. Okay? Alright, so now I'm going to take the rest of the strawberry and I'm going to just layer it on top. I'm telling you, peeps, this is wonderful. You're going to love it. You are going to love it. It's like a vanilla strawberry shortcake sundae. It's beautiful without the sponge cake or the pound cake, of course. Although I love me a good strawberry shortcake. Okay, so there we have it. A beautiful Greek yogurt with fruit on the bottom and on the top. And as Fage says on their package, please do not stir. Okay, and just for a little added crunch, I'm going to take 1 teaspoon of a granola. Now this is by Love Crunch, and it is the macadamia chocolate. It's beautiful. I'm just going to sprinkle that on the top, make it even prettier, and now you have a complete breakfast. This is beautiful. All right, let's see how it tastes. Of course, I already know it's fabulous. Okay? Treat yourself to a really healthy breakfast, peeps. This is fabulous. I think that it takes a couple of extra minutes to prepare your food when you're trying to live a healthy lifestyle, but you're so worth it, and so is your family. Enjoy, peeps. Let me know if you try it and if you love it. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to subscribe. We're anti-aging here. Be happy, be healthy, be beautiful, and most of all, peeps, be lovable, be lovable. I love you all. Bisous, my friends. Bisous.